Alrighty, good afternoon from Perth Tracking Station. On your screen is Poseidon 9 as it waits at the KSC pads. Hi everyone, my name is Oliver, also known as Blue Aerospace 236. I'll be hosting for today's mission. Our objective is to reach a low Kerbin orbit. Today's mission will be carrying 12 Eagle Eye satellites. You can see from the fuel, we have finished fuel loading on both stages. Liquid oxygen and liquid kerosene are propellants which are very cold cryogenic fuels used to propel Poseidon. Alrighty, so you can tell by the countdown, looking at the UI, we have started the countdown for today's mission. Once it reaches 0, all powerful 9 engines will light, lifting our Poseidon Heavy towards its low Kerbin orbit. Over to you, ATS. You can they the grid fins actually look quite burnt because of the booster recovery, which is all coming to plan. Alrighty, so once the vehicle launches, all the powerful 9 engines will lift, and then once the vehicle is will pass maximum aerodynamic pressure or at max Q, where the most powerful aero forces stress on the payload's fairing as well as the whole rocket itself. Over to you, ATS. Alrighty, so once the we should be stage separating from the second stage once we get up into a high atmosphere. Once we get into high atmosphere, the top part will separate from the first stage, but then that second part will fly towards its planned orbit. But the booster will do a boost back burn, and it will initiate its landing. It will initiate its grid fins, and it'll fall through the atmosphere comfortably, and it'll actually light its engines for a planned landing burn on the Kerbal Space Center pads. Over to you, 8. Yeah, so hopefully it should land in one piece, or actually two pieces if you include the second stage, firing its vacuum optimized engine, which by the way has a really long nozzle optimized for orbital maneuvers and everything. So once the booster will land, it will it'll actually perform its, well, large number of landings. Yeah. Um, so hopefully it'll come to all to plan. It hopefully doesn't have any like Poseidon heavy incidents. Yeah, OVT ATS. It lost engines. And it's spun it round. Yes. So we're coming to T minus 4 minutes into the flight. Everything looking planned for today's flight. Over to you, ATS. Yeah, and I've actually enrolled on one of those flights, and the rockets are really reliable. I highly recommend it. But also we don't want to have any fails, otherwise the KAA won't like us. Yes, OV2 ATS. Carolox. Yes, and while we're at it, we have our final no go poll for today's flight, which it means everything is looking very good for today's flight. And looking by the countdown on the UI screen, we can see that we have passed 3 minutes and 15 seconds. You can see, Yeah, so if you can look on the bottom screen, you can like see the speed, which is measured in meters per second. That's why it has m/s, which is like determines the speed and everything. We have the altitude, so like the height, which is also measured in kilometers. Sadly, no imperial time. Okay, everything looking nominal there. And yeah, and it'll also slow itself down. And also, you can when you're looking at the grid fins, you can also see the aerodynamic forces pushing against the vehicle, which is which should come to plan. Hopefully, no rapid unscheduled disassemblies there or RUDs. OVT ATS. Yeah, and we want to use it again and again and again to lower the cost of space systems rockets. And also we want to yes, yeah. Yeah, yeah, we're really good here with this flight test. Everything is looking really lucky, hopefully. Over to your ATS. And we're just checking the cameras, see whether they all work. Okay, so we have our satellites today, and we should be getting them in orbit, hopefully, and we should get some really amazing views of the fairing separation when that happens in another couple of minutes, or when the whole thing is up in space. Yeah, over to you, ATS. And also, you should also and you can also like you should also try get the camera point like from like onboard footage of the rockets. You know? Yeah. Yeah, so we'll get the so when the tracking shots happen, when the vehicle's lifting off, you'll see the cameras go into play, looking at the booster and the top part that where the fairing is. The fairing is what keeps the ship from not the ship, sorry, the payload from being destroyed by aero forces. And this is very important because it saves a lot of. Okay, go. Vehicle is in startup. We'll all go here. Should we quiet down for the launch? Flight computers have taken over, which is all come to plan. We got a liftoff. We got a liftoff of the Poseidon. Yep, everything's all good. Uh, yep, everything is looking good from the tracking cameras. You can see the vehicle soaring towards the space or the atmosphere. Yep. And we got some very great tracking shots. How much seconds we into flight, by the way? ATS, how much seconds are we in? Yeah, we can feel the rumble. All systems look good and healthy for today's flight. We can feel the rumble of the 9 engines that have lit. I am literally shaking because of this amazing roar, and my computer is vibrating. Literally. Over to you, ATS. Everything looking really good right there. Liftoff seems to be very good so far. All flight computers looking good right here and there. How's the systems? Yep, we have passed max Q right there. We can see the vapor cone forming on the sides of the Poseidon 9 fairings right there. This is a very good sign that we have passed the maximum stresses of aerodynamic forces. Over to 8. Telling us there that the first stage or the booster is looking very, very nominal right there, and everything's good. The time and UI is really reliable and helpful, telling us the speed, altitude, and timing and throttle of the engines. Engine health looks very good right here. Yeah, this worked way better than Poseidon Heavy, I must say. It's not spinning like mad. The vehicle is pitching towards orbit. This is very crucial for space flight and space systems in general. This is supposed to make our vehicle have lots of horizontal velocity, and that way it'll achieve a better stable orbit. Over T8. Alrighty, so once we are beginning to go to stage separation for Poseidon 9, once that stages, the second stage will ignite its vacuum engine and it'll head to orbit, where that orbit line will stretch into a proper circle around Kerbin. While in the meantime, we'll have the first stage will perform its flip, and it will perform its boost back burn, which will basically set it back towards the landing zone, and it will hopefully attempt a landing. Over T8. Boosters are shut down. There we go. All good. Hey, we have a stage separation. That's when the booster separates from the second stage of for an attempted landing of the KSC pads. It's happening. Okay, we have the vacuum engines lit. Vacuum engine lit for today's flight. This will be sending us our payloads, the 12 Eagle Eye payload, towards orbit. And you can tell by the nozzle of the vacuum engine, everything seems to be perfectly fine. And oh my gosh, this view is amazing. I have to pick my jaw up from the floor because this is just stunning. Oh, there we go. Fairing has separated. The payload should be revealed. Yep, we have the thing revealed. Both parts have separated. How's the first stage booster? FMRS. Okay, anyway. So once we finish orbital insertion of the second stage, we should be going to the first stage, which is the booster, which will be going for an attempted landing on the landing pads or the grass or a flat surface. If we're really unlucky, we'll just just slam it into the water at like supersonic speeds. Oh no, oh no. That'd be funny. Nah, we need to get this. We should actually like attempt to landing. That's if you're not scared to do so. It takes bravery for every rocket mission launch of space systems. Initiating to first stage. Oh yeah. I'm quick. I'm fast. It's Kerbin. Yeah, we can see beautiful Kerbin's beautiful clouds and serene landscapes from space, which is all come to plan. Altitude and speed are looking very good right now. We are currently passing the upper bits of the atmosphere, or we have mostly passed that. Yeah, yeah, we have passed the Kerman line, and that way we are basically out of the atmosphere. So that's when the fairings separated, which was earlier on, meaning that we are way high up in the atmosphere. And when that happens, we basically have nothing pushing us back, and we pretty much go for orbital insertion. And time is looking decently well at 3 minutes, or just about 4 minutes actually. Over to you, ATS. More cleaner than my bedroom, I must say. Yeah, it's gotten really good actually. Yeah. Yeah, and when we are in orbit, it's basically zero gravity, which is very good for space missions when you want to go into zero gravity, because you basically in zero gravity you have nothing pushing you down like on Earth, and we have a second engine cutoff on the second stage, which means that the big vacuum engine has shut down. Yeah, we're standing by for switching towards the first stage slash booster. Do you have acquisition of signal? Everything good. So it has a middle finger. I'm joking. So the booster is performing its boost back burn. That should end soon for a attempted entry burn for hopefully a landing if everything comes to plan. Over to you, Eights. Actually, we can see the booster coasting towards for a landing, and hopefully we don't use up all our fuel. Yep, boost back burn is pretty much finished for the attempted landing. So I believe next should be a entry burn, and after that a landing burn once it enters and coasts the atmosphere. And you can see that amazing view of of two of the four grid fins, which is what is steering our booster back to the landing pads. Overall mission is looking good. Something's not right. We might be heading in for a splashdown. Uh, a hard splashdown. I mean, soft splash. Don't want to jinx it. So everything is doing fine at the moment, but I think we're just gonna aim for a swim. We're gonna give the booster a swim, looking by the footage, and heat is building up as we prepare that entry burn. How's the booster performance? Ooh. Yeah, and with that splashdown, it will go for a swim at like my swimming classes. Anyway, so we should be going in for a soft splash landing or splashdown, and we can see those amazing views of the rocket booster coming in down with the air forces, and we should have lit the air engines for landing burn. And everything looking good right here. And yes, we have a splashdown. We have confirmed a soft splash landing, or splashdown, sorry, of Poseidon 9 booster. We should be able to reuse this hopefully one day. But we can reuse the flight data and then make the booster a bit more better and actually do a land landing. But the booster appears to be tipping over, which is something currently normal in rocket space flights. And my gosh, that camera is living underwater. So we should be go for deployments for payload deployments over ECU-8s. Just swimming casually. There we go. Yep, we got. Yeah. Back to the main mission where the satellites where we actually supposed to get them in orbit around Kerbin. Landing legs have retracted. Yeah, yeah. Like we'll be improving the booster for more actual land landings. And might actually aim for a pad landing instead of the ground landing, more like a concrete pad. It's actually smooth and comfortable to sit on. And for the booster, everything should be good. We can reuse the flight data from collected from the computers and integrate that for our next booster. Over to you, Yates. Uh, do you mean second stage, not booster? No worries. So once we finish coasting, we'll fire our second engine burn on the second stage, and this will actually put us into a proper orbit, a proper circle around Kerbin, which is pretty high, but it will do the trick for today's mission. Getting some beautiful views from the engine bell of the vacuum engine, pointing directly at Kerbin. Like I said again, those views are amazing. Everything is just chill and watch at the moment. We are beginning to go to stage separation of Poseidon 9. Once that stages, the second. How's the orbital burn or orbital startup going? Seiko. Okay, so we performed a orbital burn. So we are truly in orbit right now. Yeah, so we'll be facing towards Kerbin, where it'll deploy the 12 Eagle Eye satellites for today's mission, which is the main point of our mission today for Poseidon 9. There we go. So we are going to go for deploying satellites. The systems and avionics on the vehicle, the top part, are looking very green and healthy for today's mission and flight. Um, we have we have fulfilled the majority of the flight today. We just have to finish this little bit, which is deploying the actual satellites and payload for space systems. Okay, we have deployment of the satellites. They should be drifting away. There, yep, there we go. We can see them slowly moving away, or fastly. Yep, they are slowly drifting away. This is that's because the booster, the top stage, has a little bit of velocity behind. So yep, all deployments confirmed there. The payloads and satellites, the box-like satellites, which are the 12 Eagle Eye satellites, they are looking pretty good, and they will provide the necessary information for the space company, and we should be deorbiting the booster. Sorry, not. Yep. So we have successfully deorbited the second stage. If my English will cooperate with me, you can see those beautiful shiny. You can see those beautiful shining solar panels of the payloads. And I got some more shots from the second stage. Ah, yes. Okay, thank you for watching Space Systems. Please make sure to check out our socials and website for more amazing information. Blue Aerospace 236 signing out or off. Yeah, I gotta have dinner now. Okay, see ya.